Brooksby now takes advantage of a slip from Pete. Brooksby towards the edge of the area, cuts in field, takes a shot from distance. It's there! Wayne Brooksby with the left boot hits the bottom right-hand corner, and the former Ferriby man comes back to haunt the side that he once played for.
Good afternoon and welcome here to Guiseley AFC Radio. It's a long trip in the Far East, Lowestoft that is, for this afternoon's Vanarama Conference North game between the Lions and Lowestoft here in what promises to be a very tough and hard-fought Vanarama Conference North game for the Lions, hoping to get another win as we press on towards the top of the table, cementing our place in the playoffs, and hopefully even maybe asking a question or two of Fylde and of Barrow in that championship title race. There'll be plenty of action this afternoon here. Follow it all on Guiseley AFC Radio. Colin, Robertson and Adie Towers will be bringing you all of the action, so stick it here with us on Guiseley AFC Radio.
Brooksby now on the edge of the 18-yard box, comes charging in, plays the ball across the face of goal. Into the back of the net, and it's Adam Boys who has scored Guiseley's third. Lions are in dreamland this evening.
So good afternoon and welcome here to Lowestoft, our first ever trip. I think this is our furthest east we've ever played in a league competition, or indeed ever, I think, in the history of the club. So a little bit of history in the making here, Adie. And it's also an occasion of a very important section of the season now, and we've got to keep going and winning games and hopefully getting the 3 points this afternoon just to keep the pressure possibly on the top two and definitely in terms of cementing our place in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, this is massively important to us. As you say, it's a very long trip. And we are, as in previous weeks or last few weeks, really rather down to the bare bones. The good news is that we've got Danny Boschel and Jack Stockdale back. Jack's had a very successful loan spell with us at Town, and he's had valuable game time, so he's back and straight in. But we've got injury problems again with Danny Hall from last week and with Wayne Brooksby. So very much down to the bare bones. Very long trip. Freezing cold day, howling wind. What could be better?
We love it. That's why we've made the 10-hour round trip to get here and enjoy the football. That's what keeps us all going. Of course, last time we played Lowestoft back in November, we came away 2-0 winners. Let's relive those moments. Your commentators on that occasion was Nick Keefe and Tom Feeney.
Lowestoft are making the interception and bringing it back. Maybe it will be different this time with a lovely pass from Wayne Brooksby to Ollie Johnson in the area, who turns under control with his right foot. As Ollie Johnson heads the goal kick on through to Adam Boys, he's been forced out to the left, just inside the area, back to Gavin Rother, who tries to get it onto his right foot, looking for a pass, looking for a shot to the far post. Put Gagron under a bit of pressure there as Adam Boys threatened to get in behind him once again. A couple of strong challenges going in, and I think this one from Ryan Toulson might have earned his way into the referee's book. There's some shoving from Sam Gagron going on here, who's raised both hands to the Guiseley right back, and this is a little bit messy now. Sean Bammont was the recipient of that original challenge, but as we speak, tempers have really flared at the end of this first. Hands being raised and people being shoved, and hopefully cooler heads are prevailing now. The referee's taken advice from his assistants, and at the moment he's speaking to the Guiseley right back Ryan Toulson. But he did call Sam Gagron over. Both number 6 is actually being spoken to, and it looks like both of them will be shown a yellow card too. 3 yellow cards there. Jake Lawler, Danny Boschel, Toulson as well. Ryan Toulson for the original challenge. Shows the options that Mark has got from the lads that he's retained and the players he's brought in. But at the moment it's one of the Guiseley regulars, Gavin Rothery, running through in midfield, and he's just scragged. He's brought out by Chalonka, who grabbed his shirt from the back of the collar of his neck and wrenched him down backwards as the Guiseley playmaker broke free. And that's one of the most blatant fouls you're ever going to see, Tom, and it's rightly a yellow card. Important intervention by Ryan Toulson sets Gavin Rothery free, back to Toulson, has it on the right, down by the corner flag, cross coming in, over the head of the first man, Rothery arriving late, trying to get to it, Ollie Johnson brings it under control, and his shot just bobbles across the face of goal. In fairness, Lowestoft haven't had any chances to speak of since half-time either, and it's Johnson again turning and running towards goal, trying to thread boys through. He has done, who shoots with his left foot, running away towards the edge of the area, had to shoot with his weaker foot. It's a save from Jones, but he played full 90 minutes, but as we watch him marauding through the middle with the ball at his feet, threading boys through with an excellent pass, a shot from boys almost creeps under the left arm of Jones, the goalkeeper. The clearance allows Adam Boys to run against Sam Gagron, and he's seen the Lowestoft man off, and Sam Gagron has seen a red card for that challenge. He was the last man. Adam Boys was pressuring him all the way through. Guiseley have a free kick. There are 4 men in the wall. It's just outside the area. Brooksby to take it. It cannons off a man through the wall. It's taken a deflection into the far post. Nobody knew where it was going, least of all the keeper, Ashley Jones. And Brooksby's free kick has broken the deadlock. It came off a Lowestoft man, changed the direction of the ball, took all of the pace out of it, but the keeper, Jones, was wrong-footed.
Decided to take a more attacking based player and push him into midfield and defence.
Ollie Johnson running towards goal, shoots from distance. It's a great shot and a great goal for the Guiseley striker. Turned his defender, running towards goal, and hammered it into the same corner that Brooksby's shot just ended up in just a few minutes previously. A wonderful solo goal from the Guiseley man. Fair reward for a great final score. Guiseley 2, Lowestoft Town 0. A well-earned 3 points for the Lions.
Well, there you go, Adie. It was a good result, but then, and Ollie Johnson, the key man on that occasion with the second goal, and certainly the man who made the difference last Saturday against Brackley Town as well. So he's back on the bench this afternoon. And what's the news on Ollie?
He's inching his way back towards fitness. I mean, Ollie's one who, obviously, with all the injury problems he's had down the years, he knows his own body best. And although if you ask Ollie, because he's always very keen to play, he would say, he would like to have started. I think the reality, the judgment from Martin is that at the moment he is, better coming off the bench for that, for that last half hour or whatever. I'm sure he'll play some part today, win, lose or draw. I'm sure he'll play some part today. But I think we are very much nursing him back to health, and the last thing we want to do is have him missing for the last few games of the season.
Well, Ollie Johnson spoke to Tom Feeney after the game on Saturday when he popped up with the all-important substitute and the goals.
Tom Feeney with Ollie Johnson after the 3-1 victory for Guiseley against Brackley Town. Ollie, not the worst return in the world, were it?
No, not at all. Better than I could have imagined, to be honest. It was at the end of the day, it was a massive victory for us, though. Especially looking at the results for the teams around us, and it was one where we can take a lot from it because of the way we stuck at it, and under difficult circumstances. And we're over the moon with 3 points. And
just how much did it mean to you when you come off the bench and within, I'm going to say about 25 seconds, you've got a goal?
Yeah, it can't have been any more than that. I mean, I just saw the opportunity to charge the ball down, and it fell nicely for me, and I was in really. And I just took a couple of decent touches to set myself, and I was happy to see it going.
Just how frustrating was it during the first half for yourself and the rest of the team to go in at half-time a goal down?
Yeah, it was definitely really frustrating because we don't feel we deserve to be behind at half-time. I think we're in control of the game really. We're just little things like this final ball, and to get caught on the counter is a little bit disappointing like that because it's not really the first either, so it's something we've got to improve really.
And in terms of the injury you've had, it's been one of them frustrating ones, hasn't it, where it just hasn't gone away?
Oh, it's like you wouldn't believe. It's been so frustrating. It's something I've just got to manage really. It's a nerve problem, so it's not one of them where you rest it and it goes away. I've had an injection recently which has helped a bit, which has enabled me to play today, but it's still not 100%, but I'm going to keep at it, keep working hard, doing my exercises to try and get back 100% because I feel there's a lot more to come from myself really. So.
I know you've been turning up to matches to watch the lads. Just how much have you wanted to be getting onto the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously some of the results haven't been what we wanted, so it is frustrating watching. not so much when we're winning, although sometimes you want to be in and amongst the goals when we are winning, but especially when we're not picking up points in certain games, you want to be out there helping the team. So yeah, I don't want to be. I hope I'm not in the stand for any more games this season anyway.
Steve Drencher's been telling me you've been getting a little bit of stick in the dressing room just now, that you've just been coming on for your cameo to get your goal.
Yeah, apparently I've just been having a bit of a jolly up, just having a little mid-season break, but yeah, I'm bound to get that stick out coming on and obviously having an impact. Obviously they're going to joke saying, no, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, it's all fun and games.
And of course you played a part in the other 2 goals as well. You started the second goal and the third one you got the penalty. Just really, it has been one of them perfect substitute appearances.
Yeah, I couldn't expect it to go much better really. To be honest, coming on, all I wanted was just to help the team get back in the game, directly or indirectly, but so having handed all 3 goals is nice, and yeah, it's a good feeling. And
just how important is this when other results have gone Guiseley's way today?
Yeah, I mean, getting in the change rooms, the lads are, they're quite buoyant looking at the other results. Because there's been times, like I think a couple of weeks ago, where we've come off and we've been beaten, and we've looked at the results, and everyone else has been beaten. We're kind of kicking ourselves, thinking that's an opportunity. But this time we've took the opportunity, to pick up the 3 points while other teams have dropped points, and it puts us right back in the mix for the playoffs. And to be honest, we're not going to give up on automatic. We won't until it's mathematically impossible. But especially looking at the playoffs now, it's looking good for us, and we've got to kick on and start stringing a run of wins together.
And finally, it's the Lowestoft away next. A nice short journey.
Yeah, it's a nice little local derby for us, isn't it? Yeah, we'll prepare right. We'll do everything properly, and obviously we're hoping to come away with the 3 points again.
Well, thanks, Ollie, and well done.
Cheers.
Well, that was Tom Feeney speaking to Ollie Johnson after the game. Is that right, Adie? Did you give him the week a mid-season break?
No, I mean, to be fair to Ollie, Ollie's one who is, as I say, he's got problems with this nerve issue in his back. Did have a really quite complicated injection, which involved an X-ray at the same time. Quite complex, I gather, as a procedure into his back, and it's hopefully it's made the difference that he was looking for. And certainly, as Ollie says, it's a condition he has to manage. But there was no way he could have played for the period. No, because he kept on trying in training, and then it would just break down on him.
And it's good though to be able to have the option of him as he's coming back into some of that fitness to be able to bring him off the bench, because he really showed his worth as an impact player last weekend.
Yeah, and I think the thing about Ollie is, I mean, if you look at the teams he's played for, if you look at go on other teams' forums, I mean, I think if Ollie was at full fitness, without being rude, he wouldn't be with Guiseley AFC. I strongly suspect that he would certainly be a Football League player, and on his day could probably be a Championship player. So no, I mean, he's great for us. He's a lovely lad, technically very gifted footballer, but you have to nurse him along.
And well known in these parts as well, of course, because it's his time with Norwich City.
Yes, and funny enough, in the hotel this morning, several people sort of came up to Ollie and asked for autographs and things. So no, I mean, he's very well known in the area. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome here to Lowestoft, here on Guiseley AFC Radio. We are here for the Vanarama Conference North match between Lowestoft Town and Guiseley. The two teams
on first team terms for some time, but also Jack Brooks, Aaron Fell and others. And the academy were outstanding in their own right against the Hyde side, who haven't lost for a long time, and had several current first team players in the academy side. But Luke Porritt got a hat trick. All 3 different finishes, but essentially playing as a lone striker effectively. So yeah, he was very impressive. One thing that Luke, I think, has added to his game is that I always thought that he.
So, minute silence there for 2 former Lowestoft players, Roy Jenner and Keith Rudd, and a loyal Lowestoft supporter on nights. And the teams now take their positions. Guiseley playing in usual away kit, all yellow. Thankfully, no mix-up this week,
yes,
Adie, and that horrible
makes a change to have the right kit on, yeah.
Solihull Moors away kit still haunts me. Lowestoft shooting from right to left as we were stuffed on the ball in midfield with Adam Smith. Just intercepted by Tolson, picked up here by Bammont, and then intercepted by Andy. Smith again on the ball for the home side into Fisk. Andrew Fisk sends it down the left channel, and then it's out for a Guiseley throw.
I think it's fair to say it won't be total football today, won't it?
Well, just talk us through that pitch, because
It's awful.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's big, which is good. But that's about the end of its advantages. You've got a howling wind straight down it. It's very sandy, very dry, very bobbly. But it's a pitch, so you get on playing it, don't you?
They were saying they haven't had a postponement this year, which is quite a remarkable thing. We've suffered with a few. The ball's cleared from that right back position up to the halfway line. Nicky Boschel up against Jack Ainsley. Ainsley wins that battle, but gives the ball to Danny Boschel. A long one up from Danny Boschel, looking to get Alex Johnson in. The Lowestoft back line holds firm. Jack Stockdill on the ball now for Guiseley inside the centre circle.
It's good to see Stocky make a start, isn't it? As I say, he's been at Ossett, getting really valuable game time. Played most of every game in their last month or so. And the Ossett management absolutely loved him. They think that he's got potentially got the lot. John Reid, the Ossett manager, speaks very highly of him.
Lowestoft recover the ball, and now we're on the halfway line here with Ross Jarvis. Guys who win the ball back, and Danny Boschel comes over the halfway line but is blocked in his path. And Smith has to knock the ball out for a Guiseley throw just inside the Lowestoft half.
It's certainly a pitch where you're going to have to take a touch, I think. There's no point trying to play first-time balls. And it's also raining now to add to the general... A
little bit of a drizzle, really. Not too much. The throw not particularly productive. And out for a Lowestoft throw. First goal of the day, just in the championship for the sides that we're following. Huddersfield 0, Fulham 1.
Huddersfield still just have the slightest relegation worry, don't they? I don't think they will go down, but they're just teetering, just not quite safe as yet, aren't they?
Ball forward now from Guiseley's perspective. Here with Nicky Boschel. Tries to play the ball between two Lowestoft men. It's blocked and then sent back into the Lions' half. Nodded out by Ellis, and now it's going to be a throw for Lowestoft on the right-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal. Throw to be taken. Short. Good interception from Holdsworth, but then he slips at the key time. Nicky Boschel stretching in for the tackle. Makes the connection. It's out for a throw in again to Lowestoft. On the right-hand side, just about level with the 6-yard box. It's played back to the run into the area, and Guiseley are defending for a moment, a little uncertainly. The ball into for him beyond Jake Lawler at the back post, though. There's Danny Lowe. He takes a shot, well held by the goalkeeper again. And the danger passes, but that's a promising start from the Lions. Getting the shots away as well, which again, it's not a pussyfooting pitch, is it? You're not going to pass it into the net, are you? Ball's now back into Guiseley's half, and just shepherded out by Andy Holdsworth for a goal kick. So I was just saying actually earlier on, if you are listening and can just give us a tweet just to let us know whether the technical quality of the stream is okay, that would be grateful. We're very grateful. We're getting a mixture of messages at our end, so that would be very helpful. So it's at Guiseley Radio. Goal kick, Stephen Drench. Up to the halfway line, nodded on by Jarvis, straight back to Drench. I think the strength of the wind's indicated by how far that travelled back to Drench without any... What's that goal area like as well, where Stephen Drench is in? Because he didn't look particularly certain, did he? Very uneven. Uncharacteristically, not holding onto the ball that came straight at him. I mean, in fairness, the pitch is the pitch. I've not been critical. It's just that it is very, very bobbly. Ball with Stephen Drench at the moment. He plays it up into the Lowestoft half. Nodded on by... And now good movement from Lowestoft down the left flank. Erkin okay on the ball. And then it's knocked out for a Lowestoft throw by Toulson. Adam Smith will take. Left back looks in field. Was it in? Flicked on there by Henderson into the area. There's a flag up against Sean Bamont as he looked to have broken down the defence for a second. Behind for a goal kick. You've seen the linesman trying to keep his flag in his hand, Colin. It's so he was actually bent down trying to keep his flag from flying away. 8 minutes gone. 0-0. Not had any other scorelines from the Vanarama Conference North yet either. About this time last week, I think. Chances in the opening spell. Two good saves from the goalkeeper.
In fairness, as the gentleman from the Lowestoft media was saying earlier, they're good here. They've only lost 3 games at home all season, so...
It's their away record that's been a real problem for them, hasn't it?
Yes.
The clearance from goalkeeper Jones is so long, it's watched by Stephen Drench. It's one of those where you fancy the goalkeeper, if he hits it right, can score.
That was a good shout there from Drench as well, wasn't it? Because, both defenders were able to just listen to the shout and pull out, which was good. But you see Drench's kick there, just getting over the halfway line, is remarkable, isn't it?
Good clearance comes in from Gogren. The captain, Lowestoft captain, who was sent off in the game at Nethermore. And pressing and pressure coming in from Erkin Oke.
I have to say that the referee's got a very good view of that. Oh, and the one that we actually didn't want a whistle for, you get a whistle for, don't you?
Started, folks.
No, in fairness, it's a free kick, but what I'm saying is if he just looked up, there was a good advantage to be given, wasn't there?
Adam Boy's on the ball now. Danny Lowe's robbed them in the penalty area, just trying to get the ball away to Alex Johnson or Nicky Boschel, who were free. It was tackled well.
Isn't it, Colin?
Picked up now by Jack Stockdill. Ball over the top, looking for Alex Johnson. He's up against Gogren. Does Johnson. Gets the ball across the 6-yard box, but it's picked out of the air by Ashley Jones. And Lowestoft come away down from left back with Adam Smith. Square over the halfway line into the feet of Jarvis. Lowestoft hold on to the ball.
Adam Boyes did very well, didn't he?
Played forward by Smith, and then there's a wicked deflection, and Danny Lowe has to be alive to the danger. Steps across, puts his right foot through it. It's up into the air. The clearances aren't completing well when they're up in the air with the wind against Guiseley at the moment. And then Alex Johnson battling hard to try and win the ball back. But Gogren is more than equal to that particular task. And Lowestoft win the ball back in right-back position.
It is a long way around him, though, isn't it?
The ball down the right-hand side. And eventually Guiseley win a free kick because Jake Reid is adjudged to have pushed Danny Lowe.
I think if Alex Johnson's going to get much out of Gogren, he's got to actually keep away from him, if you know what I mean. Try to spin off him all the time rather than get... Because he's been touched tight to him 3 times now. And you imagine that experienced as Gogren is, he'll deal with it all day.
Guiseley with a free kick inside their own half. It's up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, headed away by Suwumni.
I mean, our place, Colin, do you remember when he got sent off eventually?
Yes.
But the fact was that he'd managed to more or less run the game for half an hour before that, hadn't he?
And it was a turn of pace, wasn't it, from Boys?
Yeah, Boys just ran away from him.
Just got away from him.
But we know the fact is he's a clever footballer if you let him get tight to you.
Not much happening at the moment. Guiseley with the ball inside their own half. A throw in, which is taken by Ryan Toulson. He lofts it reasonably long into the Lowestoft half.
To you.
And then Suwumni eventually tidies it up as the ball sort of bobbles around. And then Danny Boschel looks like he's been pulled over. Yes, the referee has given the free kick, and he's just feeling his back of his leg there, but is up.
I mean, with the strength of wind here, you can almost concede that free kick, can't you? Because all you can do is hang a ball up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a few yards in from the centre circle.
You know, normally you'd be expecting H to drop this on the penalty spot, wouldn't you? But it's going to hang up in the wind.
Nicky Boschel will actually stand over this one.
Standing over this one. Bosch, yeah.
And guys, you have Jake Lawler, Danny Ellis up on the edge of the 18-yard box on the left-hand angle. It's floated into the edge of the 6-yard box. It was well claimed by the goalkeeper, but there was a chance there, wasn't there, for one of the Lions to
keep it very well there.
Get on the end of it. Goalkeeper slips as he clears, but still makes one heck of a clearance downfield. Almost lands the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box on the penalty area.
I seem to recall at our place he had a very good game, the keeper, didn't he?
Ball now here with Erkin Oke on the right-hand side. Drops it back towards Fisk. Intercepted well by Stockdill and then sent back up into the Lowestoft half and all the way back with the goalkeeper. 1-0 at the moment to Bradford City against Fleetwood. Clearance from Jones again. Ashley Jones's clearances are taking an enormous distance, aren't they? That one this time running out for a goal kick. at the other end.
It was almost an attempt on the Sky Stats, wasn't it?
First goal in the Vanarama Conference North goes to Oxford City. They're 1-0 up at home to Bradford Park Avenue.
That's a game you just couldn't call, could you? You know, which Avenue have turned up, which Oxford have turned up. It could be any score you care to name, could that? And
in the Vanarama Conference, it's Barnet 1, Welling 0.
That's vital for them because Bristol Rovers won last night, didn't they? So, you know, Barnet need the result today.
Real race going on between those two. Goal kick here, up to the halfway line from Stephen Drench against the wind. It's won back by Lowestoft, play down the left-hand side. The only man running after it is Jarvis. Danny Ellis gets there ahead of him. Jarvis sticks to the task, knocks it out, prevents it going out for a goal kick, and Guiseley have a throw.
He's done well there for them, Jarvis, hasn't he? That's, you know, with this win, the last thing you want is a throw there, really.
Toulson takes it, can't get out of the right back position. Lowestoft win it back. It's picked up here by Bammond. And in the end, a free kick is given, I think, slightly miscited from where we are here, to Lowestoft. And it's in a good position with this win behind them for them to whip this one in. And it's about 10 yards from the angle of the penalty area. On the left-hand side does Lowestoft attack the Lions' goal, and they are getting plenty of players forward here. 6 on the edge of the D.
This is classic, isn't it? You know, in terms of the wind, if you can, this is really dangerous because in that sort of zone of uncertainty thing just outside the 6-yard box, very hard to set up for.
16 minutes gone, 0-0. Lowestoft with the free kick. Guiseley going to have to be on the metal here. The ball floats. Well, it takes to the wind, actually. It's really overhit, and it's out for a goal kick. And sigh of relief, actually, because that was in a dangerous position with the wind, and in the end, Jack Ainsley will be disappointed with his delivery.
That must have been 20 yards away from where he wanted it, mustn't it?
It was high and wide.
And as you say, the wind got hold of it and it just went on going. It nearly cleared the perimeter fence.
There's a development just behind the goal there of housing and flats. Almost hit one of the windows. Goal kick. Couple of other goals coming in. Vanarama Conference North. Brackley 0, North Ferriby 1. Solihull 1, Leamington 0. And an equaliser for Bradford Park Avenue already. So it's 1-1 between Oxford City and Bradford Park Avenue.
Ferriby is surprised because I thought when they got to trophy final that might well be them, but they've this would be the 5th win on the spin, I think, which is tremendous.
Really been inspired by it. Now Lowestoft get the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. It was a long one forward. It was taken down well, actually, by Jarvis on the first occasion, but the second touch not directed at the goal and behind for a goal kick.
Great touch. That wasn't the first touch.
So if you're just joining us, still 0-0. The Lions have had 2 really bright early chances. Alex Johnson has been denied by excellent goalkeeping.
That really was a super save because Alex has done he's done what you want, hasn't he? Really.
But since then, Lowestoft, playing with the wind in their favour, have been able to punt balls forward and ask a couple of questions. But guys who've had the better 2 chances, I would say. They're 2 good saves from Ashley Jones early on in this game. Yeah,
there was a half scare from Drenchy, wasn't it? But that was down to the bobble, really, rather than the quality of the shot, wasn't it?
Good head from Danny Ellis into
Nicky Boschell's done well to come short there for him.
Lowestoft half. Nicky Boschell battling away, as Adie says, to win the ball back, but Lowestoft managed to force it out. Another Guiseley throw. And it's taken down the...
That was remarkable. That ball just died on the wind. It was just remarkable.
Picked up here by Jack Stockville inside the Lowestoft half. And he actually wins a free kick for the challenge of Jarvis. But it didn't look particularly convincing. A convincing free kick to me, Adie.
No, I mean, it was a poor touch from Jack, but the lad did leave his studs behind, didn't he?
So, guys with a free kick. Nicky Boschell, midway through the Lowestoft half. Out to the right-hand side more than the centre. It's killed in by Nicky Boschell. It's easily headed away. Didn't get the height that's necessary. And now guys, you have to be careful. And Danny Boschell has been penalised, I think, for handball, as he went to control it inside the centre circle. Referee, well, we're still waiting for this goal kick to be taken. Stephen Drench takes it. It's up in the air. Hangs around to the halfway line. Headed on by Lowestoft. chased down here by Jake Reed. Ryan Toulson loses out, and the ball down to the left-hand side eventually goes back towards Sean Bammont, but he can't get hold of it, and it's behind for another goal kick.
The wind really is making this very difficult for both teams, isn't it?
It's almost too strong, isn't it, to be in Lowestoft's favour, because when they're hitting the ball, it's hard to judge it from their perspective to float it into the right dangerous areas.
And it seems to be almost on one occasion it'll die on the wind, and the next occasion it'll be taken by the wind. So yeah,
it's not making it a spectacle. 0-0, 21 minutes gone.
I mean, even our fans who set off in very boisterous, noisy mood have now quietened down.
Flicked on here by Danny Boschel, though, from the halfway line.
Well done,
Good
Nicky
control
Boschel.
from Nicky Boschel. Takes it down, chips it up in the air towards Alex Johnson, takes it on the chest. Good tackle comes in from Sam Gargren.
In fact, that was a brilliant first touch from Nicky, an awful ball from Nicky, but then AJ's done well to make something of it, really.
Throw in for Guiseley on the about level on the left-hand side of the field, about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Low. Into the feet of Holdsworth, back here to Low, into Alex Johnson, back to Danny Boschel, and Danny Boschel's ball towards Holdsworth isn't in the right area, and Lowestoft recover the ball. Boschel forced into making a clearance on the ball, but it's up in the air and on the halfway line and past the crowd that's assembled just in front of them there.
I'm surprised that AJ hasn't changed his boots, because it's about 4 times he's fallen over now, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he slipped upfield just at the key moment, really. Lowestoft have a throw on the left side, just about level with the penalty area as they attack the Guiseley goal. It's short here to Henderson. Henderson battling to try and win the ball back. Does well. Picks it up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Gets a shot lined up, but well intercepted there from Nicky Boschel, who's working hard to defend.
He is, in fairness. I mean, I'm often critical of Nicky's work rate, but he's done well with his defensive duties so far, hasn't he?
Jack Ainsley then takes the ball for Lowestoft, and it's intercepted by Boschel, and just as you congratulate him, he slips at the key time, gives the ball back. Lowestoft now get the ball into the penalty area. Well defended again by Jake Lawler. Helped away by Andy Holdsworth up to the halfway line.
It is a complete lottery, though, isn't it?
The ball sort of bobbling around, neither side able to get it under control. Pitch and wind combining. And
dear
then
me.
Adam Boyes is just penalised.
There's a free kick for a man who's never played, eh? Good God.
Penalised for trying to win the ball with Andrew Fisk. There's a couple of challenges like that so far where it's free kicks have been given to both sides.
Dear me.
Haven't been particularly clear.
Adam Boyes has got penalised there for being 6'4", hasn't he?
Free kick will be taken by Lowestoft inside their own half, but because of the wind, they can move players into advanced positions. It's long up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Defended well by Danny Lowe. Up here by Nicky Boschel. Back here to Lowe. Lowe up towards the halfway line. And Alex Johnson with a battle on his hands. Can't
he's done
keep
well
it in
there,
play.
hasn't he? I mean, he's unlucky there. He's done well because he's engaging 2 defenders as well.
It was Soamney who, in the end, managed to watch the ball go back, and then the goalkeeper gets the pass back, then swipes his foot right through it, seems to prevent it going out for a corner, but the linesman on this near side says no, he hasn't, and it is a Guiseley corner. A complete gift for the Lions, because it was a pass back that just bobbled right in front of the goalkeeper as he went to put his foot through it. And then he had to recover to try and prevent it going out for a corner. Corner to the Lions on the left-hand side, 26 minutes gone. Our referee's changed his mind and actually given it as a throw. Everyone was lined up for the corner. It's then played back to Boschel, who helps it right to the back post. And it's gone out. And it'll be a goal kick. A strange sort of passage of play. Strange sort of incident, really, all of that.
The referee very clearly indicates a corner, then gives a throw. Oh, well.
Can't quite figure out what made him change his mind.
No. But what's worse is then doesn't change his signal.
Alfreton 1, Chester 0. And Torquay 1, Kidderminster 0 in the conference.
Alfreton just done enough to stay up now, haven't they? Under new ownership, obviously.
Now Brackley are leading North Ferriby just as Guiseley get the ball back to Stephen Drench. A second goal for Brackley. 27 minutes gone here, no goals. Scrappy sort of affair. Very difficult conditions for both sides. A strong wind.
I think the game's summed up by Oh, my Lord, referee. Dear me.
There's a free kick just been given to Alex Johnson against Omar Sowumni, who was battling in the aerial challenge. Referee's given the free kick, and this one, about 20 yards from the edge of the 18-yard box, slightly closer. Difficult for Guiseley to distribute the ball into the dangerous areas against this wind. It'll be Nicky Boschel who will take.
Well, there, when the ball was released to the wide lad, it looked, in all seriousness, like a decent ball, and then the wind just got hold of it, didn't it?
So, Guiseley currently 0-0 here at Lowestoft. And currently, the ball and the game, a bit of a scrappy affair.
How long's gone, Colin?
30 minutes, the half-hour mark. 2 good saves from Ashley Jones in the Lowestoft goal, denying Alex Johnson. Other than that, little to report, and a little shape to the game. Very hard pitch, quite bobbly, and a very strong wind, not helping either side this afternoon.
And it's difficult to tell from inside here, actually, what the crowd reaction is, because the crowd seem flat as well, don't they?
Yeah, we are in a porter cabin this afternoon, so you don't quite hear the full reaction from inside. Guys, you get the ball away from the goal kick,
that was nearly decent, wasn't it?
A good ball forward from Ryan Toulson, defended well from Lowestoft, and they send it immediately back
done,
into
the
Guiseley half, and Danny Ellis with a good header back to Stephen Drench. Takes the momentum out of the attack.
Had a shout, cushioned header, simple thing, you know.
Drench tries again, this time gets a good connection on that one, and it floats much further than you anticipated.
Isn't that odd? How that went, as you said, 20 yards further than you were expecting.
But Lowestoft still able to defend. They send it long, again looking for Reed. He flicks it on, but to no one. And then it's up into the Lowestoft half and defended again. Danny Boschel does enough to get a foot through the ball in the halfway line to win possession back for Guiseley. It's now with Lowe. Sends it down the left-hand side. Danny Boschel continues with the run down the left flank.
Good lad.
And Lowestoft get the ball clear, but then lose possession. Alex Johnson on the edge of the 18-yard box gets the ball into the feet of Andy Holdsworth. He takes a shot. Almost into the path of Adam Boys, but beyond him in the end and behind for a goal kick.
You have to say so far that both Danny Lowe and AJ, and in addition Boys, you're all working people's touch as well, and on a bad pitch that's a difficult thing, isn't it? Not allowing defenders to settle.
But scoreless. And at the moment, there's little to report since the first opening moments. When I
strongly suspect that Sam Goffrin's about to talk himself into some difficulty again, because he's giving the referee dog's on all the time. The referee's just suggested that he might like to cease.
As he meanwhile trying to win ball on the halfway line, and it's actually won back well by Jack Ainsley. The Lowestoft player plays it long in the end into the penalty area, beyond everyone, and into the hands of Stephen Drench. Do you know, I thought for the 4.5 to 5 hours of travel we did this morning, it might be worth a 7-goal thriller. But,
I just want 3 points and go home, calling myself out. You know.
Guys, who might start to press themselves from Jack Stockdale back to Ryan Toulson. Toulson up towards Adam Boys. Boys is clipped, but referee and linesman don't agree, and it's out anyway for a throw-in to Lowestoft in left-back position.
I have to say the referee is infuriating both teams, isn't he? Because it's just inconsistent.
Difficult conditions, I
suppose,
for him
and I think
as well.
In fairness to him, he's probably trying to make allowances, but he doesn't seem to be spotting trends at all, does he?
Alex Johnson does well up against Gogren to get the ball down on his chest and then lays it in towards Adam Boys, but the pass is a little bit wide of Boys and it's out for a Lowestoft throw. Guys who win it back though. Danny Boschel.
Well done, Danny Boschel.
On the ball, cool foot into Jack Stockdale. He just punts it up in the air. Alex Johnson can't outmuscle Gogren on that occasion, and the Lowestoft captain gets a good header and clearance. Danny Ellis.
Jack Stockdale's done well for half an hour, hasn't he?
Punts it forward.
Ratting around in there and, winning the ball and giving it simple all the time.
Guisey on the ball now on the left-hand side. Nicky Boschel. Danny Lowe cuts in field, then goes back. Boschel and Nicky Boschel. Nicky Boschel on the left flank, curls one in towards Alex Johnson. Well watched.
Well defended.
And
well defended.
Sowumni gets it clear.
He's done well so far, hasn't he, Sowumni?
Guys, for them to get the ball into the box, and they get bodies forward, but the cross isn't great. And it's, again, taken by the wind and out for a goal kick.
Free kicks have become like offside now. Nobody understands anymore.
What, in this game?
In football in general. What constitutes an advantage? How long does the advantage persist?
I thought you were talking about the execution of the free kick there.
No.
But I suppose it's the referee's discretion, isn't it, the advantage rule? The goal kick up to the halfway line, we're struggling for something to talk about, really. It's so scrappy and difficult to follow.
We
Ball.
probably have had marginally the better of it.
But it's marginal, isn't it?
It's marginal, yes.
Playing against a very firm wind as well, so that's quite encouraging.
And that must be the 5th or 6th time a Guiseley player's fallen over now.
Guys, you just send the ball long up into the Lowestoft half. Johnson slipped, but then he's won a free kick on that left-hand side. This is a good position, this, actually. It's about 10 yards from the angle of the penalty area on the left-hand flank. Guys, you can get Lawler and Ellis forward. Adam Boys, of course, will be up there. This is an opportunity to float this one in. And perhaps the angle will be more kind with the wind.
Yeah, the trouble is with the wind, you're never quite sure whether it's going to be an outswinger, isn't it? But you might argue it's more suited to an in-swinger.
36 minutes gone, 0-0. Ball into the penalty area, headed on from the free kick by Danny Lowe and behind for a goal kick.
Well executed. Very difficult to control the header, though, in against the wind, isn't it?
Score correction, actually, in the Brackley game. I think we said it was 2-1. It's actually now, it's still 1-1. So Brackley 1, Ferriby 1. Stalybridge 1, Gloucester 1. And Barrow have taken the lead at Worcester. So that's not the result, not the scoreline we're looking for.
In fairness and in respect to Darren Edmondson's team, I mean their stickability this season has been remarkable, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've never really had the wobble, have they?
No, and they can be 2-1 down late on, and they'll either get a point or win the game 3-2, and that's been the story of their season. He's built a formidable squad up there, but he is paying them out, formidable amounts of money as well.
Apart from the wobble of the double header with Fylde over Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think they picked up maybe a couple of games where they only picked up a point after that.
But I mean, it's a budget that in any other circumstances but theirs would be unsustainable.
Guiseley just trying to get the ball out of their own half at the moment.
Clever.
Good long ball from Danny Ellis. It finds Alex Johnson.
Well
He
done,
runs at the defender, but
he's done well.
Only again just gets beyond him. But, it was good running from Johnson. The ball sort of wouldn't fall kindly for him to get it into his stride. Somebody came across him.
I've been very impressed with Suwumni.
And he's put it out for a corner. Guys, you have a corner on the left flank.
I think.
Was it a corner?
He gave a throw.
Oh, he gave a throw. Sorry, no.
Which it probably was.
I was misreading it completely. Call me an idiot.
I lost the ball in the shadow of the old people's bungalows over there. But
the throw comes in and into the feet of Alex Johnson. He's right down by the corner flag. Tries to cross it into the area. Adam Boy's looking for it. Far too far away to be able to actually get there ahead of the goalkeeper, who claims well and then sends it long.
He's done well, though, AJ, again there, hasn't he?
Towards Bamont. And Bamont now on the right-hand side, crosses infield, goes beyond the intended target, but is picked up by Jarvis. Jarvis on the edge of the 18-yard box, plays a ball in and goes for the return from Jake Reed. And guys have to put it behind for a corner.
Well worked.
6 minutes to go to the break, and a corner for Lowestoft from the right-hand side. Waiting to get bodies forward here. And they're getting plenty of players up. I think there's only Alex Johnson for Guiseley not in the penalty area at the moment, trying to defend this one.
It's also odd as well that Lowestoft haven't got somebody, sort of splitting the space, isn't it?
The corner comes in up towards the back post, over the goalkeeper, over everyone, and actually in the end goes out for a goal kick. But it was a well-delivered, well-flighted ball in what is difficult conditions this afternoon.
But you had sort of 18 players lined up on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's very peculiar.
Yeah, it's as if they weren't expecting the ball to fall in that space at all. Presumably because of the wind, actually.
But you would think, wouldn't you, with the potential for a half clearance, that's just the place it might drop.
Barnet are running away with it in the Vanarama Conference, 3-0 against Welling already in that game.
Welling are in real trouble, though. They're in free fall, aren't they?
Wrexham 1, Lincoln City 1 as well. Guiseley still can't get out of their own half, though, here from the goal kick. Lowestoft pick it back up. It's down here with Smith. His cross is deflected, and it's gone out for a throw, just up from the corner flag, as we crane our heads around to try and see. The throw will go towards the edge of the 18-yard box.
I've commented in some strange places, Colin, but this is really up there, isn't it?
Gagren sits the ball over the top towards the edge of the 18-yard box, headed away well by Danny Ellis, and then Gagren does well just to block Alex Johnson from winning it. And then I have to say that it looked pretty much like a foul throw to me from Gagren, but it wasn't given, and then it's sent all the way back for a goal kick anyway.
It was embarrassingly poor, wasn't it, really?
Surely had the sympathy.
You seldom see a back leg so far off the ground here, but
I think he might have slipped when he went to take the throw, to be fair.
I think the linesman's suffering from hypothermia on this side, isn't he?
Not surprised, really. It's a brisk wind, very, very strong wind out there against Guiseley at the moment as we're playing away.
Oh, he's giving it the other way.
A free kick's given to Lowestoft. I'm not quite sure I follow that one. Just inside the Guiseley half again, but these free kicks each time, really, they are an opportunity.
They are.
From such distance to float the ball in.
I just don't know what he's seen there.
So Guiseley have to defend. 4 minutes to go to the break. Adam Smith with a free kick on the halfway line. Wind takes it again up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Danny Ellis has to watch that one, nods it behind for a corner. Danger just beginning to tell for Guiseley as Lowestoft are beginning to press before this break.
You'd always expect with this wind for a team to get up ahead of steam, though, wouldn't you?
It's almost been too strong, as we were saying earlier, but now Lowestoft just seem to be mastering the conditions.
Yeah, they've come
in this
to
spell.
terms with it, haven't they, a bit, yeah.
Corner from the right-hand side. 42 minutes, 0-0. Lowestoft
That's
float
a
the
decent
corner
corner
in, up towards the back post.
Well
Well claimed by Stephen Drench inside the 6-yard box.
Excellent hands from Drenchy there.
Necessary as well. And Drench just bounces.
He's not the biggest, but I have to say, as we always say, it's a very safe pair of hands, isn't it?
Plays it into the Lowestoft half, and Jack Stockdale was in space, but the ball came at him quite quick, couldn't control.
I think he outthought himself there, didn't he?
Lowestoft clear and take the ball back into the Guiseley half, but Guiseley defend well again. Jack Stockdale does well to control the ball and take it into the Lowestoft half. Nice 1-2 between him and Adam Boyce.
Stocky, look up, son, look up, son.
He's got the ball at his feet. Changes the angle, sends it crossfield towards Danny Lowe, whose first touch lets him down, and now there's a chance here for Chris Henderson to take the ball away on the right-hand side. Henderson races down the right flank. Good tackle comes in from Danny Lowe. Great recovery to make up for the loose touch in the first place.
That was naive, wasn't it? Because on a good pitch, that's a great ball. On this pitch, it's an awful ball, and he's put Lowe under so much pressure. The kid's done brilliant on his touch, hasn't he? But that's just a killer on this pitch. Just don't do it.
And there was nobody behind him, was there, to cover?
No. That's a development centre ball, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's on a perfect pitch at 19.
Guiseley now just forced into conceding the corner. Jake Lawler just touches it behind. Tamworth 0, Hensford 1 in that game. Another big 6-pointer in the playoff push.
The wheels have just come off a little bit at Tamworth, haven't they?
They've lost a few, haven't they, recently?
I must say, when we lost down there, I was terribly frustrated because I thought we were the better side and played poorly.
Guiseley now have to defend this corner, though. Just as we head to the break, 1 minute to go. Lowestoft curl this one in again into the 6-yard box, punched away by Stephen Drench. Just enough of a touch to take it out to Guiseley's right back position, and then eventually it's cleared, but only sort of half cleared. Chris Henderson nods it back up in the air, flicked on then again by Jarvis.
You have the impression, if anything, the wind's getting stronger because we're having more and more difficulty just clearing as far as the halfway line now.
And both, again, struggling to control. Guys who do clear with Danny Lowe up over the halfway line. And now a challenge comes in, but the ball with Ainsley.
If this is how this is every week, if you play here, you must tear your hair out.
In the meantime, a free kick's now given again against OK, and I'm not convinced about that one, but there's no complaint, to be fair, from the Guiseley players.
No.
And it'll be another free kick just before the break. Seconds to go before standard time is up, so it's just whatever
They've had a decent 5 minutes, haven't they?
And let's hope we can just ride this challenge right to the end here. The free kick comes in now, floated in towards the 6-yard box, headed on by Danny Ellis, up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, flicked up towards Stockdale, still can't get it away. Okay, back into the area, up with the challenge for Jake Lawler to win against the Wimney, and then eventually Ryan Toulson gets a header in. It's a real scramble. Nobody can get the foot on the ball and do anything with it. It's so untidy. Lowestoft can't make progression. Guiseley can't clear the lines. And in the end, it's down by the corner flag and out for a Guiseley throw in right back position.
It's like a Hilltop Sunday morning kids game, this, isn't it?
And that's it for the break. It's not been a thriller. Best chances in the first 5 minutes for Guiseley saw Ashley Jones pull off 2 great saves to deny Alex Johnson. Other than that, with a very tough surface to play on, bobbly, and a strong wind, both sides really struggling to adapt to the conditions. It's 0-0 at the break. It's
a shame as well because, when the game at our place, which I thought was a good game of football, between two sides with the ability to get it down and play, but it's just been such a difficult half hour so far, isn't it? 45 minutes so far.
Yeah, it really has, hasn't it? It really been difficult to kind of see a pattern of a play or a pattern of a game to get out, but got to be pleased.
Would have taken the 0-0 at half time. Would have certainly taken the 0-0 at half time. Yeah,
I was going to say that would be a positive, wouldn't it? But now we're playing with the wind. Whether that's an advantage or not, don't know. Really, from what we've seen that first opening period.
No, it's difficult. I mean, it is a lottery.
Well, let's just quickly run down the scores of the teams we've been following. There's a goal at the break. Blackpool 1, Leeds United 0. Now I know the Blackpool fans were protesting today against the ownership of Carl Oyston, and they were off to protest at the ground and off to watch AFC Blackpool in the North West Counties League. So 1,000 or so of them have been expected to turn up there. Huddersfield Town 0, Fulham 1, Bradford 1, Fleetwood 0. League 2, Accrington 0, York 0. Vanarama Conference then, Alfreton 1, Chester 0, Altrincham 0, Halifax 0, Barnet 3, Welling 0, Welling down to 10. Dover 0, Gateshead 0. Now that's a trip. We're complaining about ours this afternoon. Look at that. Grimsby 1, Eastleigh 0. Macclesfield 0, Nuneaton 0. Southport 0, Dartford 0. Torquay 1, Kidderminster 0. Woking 0, Forest Green 0. Wrexham 1, Lincoln 1. Now, Vanarama Conference North. Boston United 1, Gainsborough Trinity 0. Brackley 1, North Ferriby 1. Fylde 0, Hyde 0. Harrogate 0, Colwyn Bay 0. Lowestoft 0, Guiseley 0. Oxford City 1, Bradford Park Avenue 1. Solihull 2, Leamington 0. Stalybridge 1, Gloucester City 1. Stockport County 0, Chorley 1. Tamworth 0, Hensford 1. Worcester City 0, Barrow 1. Well, we'll be taking a break for 10 minutes or so. Hopefully we'll have more action to report on in the second period than we have in the first. It's been fairly tepid stuff in difficult conditions in the first 45, but we'll be back for live commentary of the second 45 in about 10 minutes or so, so stick with us and we'll catch up with you soon.
Brooksby now takes advantage of a slip from Pete. Brooksby towards the edge of the area, cuts in field, takes a shot from distance. It's there! Wayne Brooksby with the left boot hits the bottom right hand corner, and the former Ferriby man comes back to haunt the side that he once played for. the edge of the 18-yard box, comes charging in, plays the ball across the face of goal. Put into the back of the net, and it's Adam Boys who has scored Guiseley's third. Lions are in dreamland this evening.
Lowestoft are making the interception and bringing it back. Maybe it will be different this time with a lovely pass from Wayne Brooksby to Ollie Johnson in the area, who turns under control with his right foot. As Ollie Johnson heads the goal kick on through to Adam Boys, he's been forced out to the left, just inside the area, back to Gavin Rothery, tries to get it onto his right foot, looking for a pass, looking for a shot to the far post. Put Gagron under a bit of pressure there as Adam Boys threatened to get in behind him once again. A couple of strong challenges going in, and I think this one from Ryan Toulson might have earned his way into the referee's book. There's some shoving from Sam Gagron going on here, who's raised both hands to the Guiseley right back, and this is a little bit messy now. Sean Bammont was the recipient of that original challenge, but as we speak, tempers have really flared at the end of this first half. There's been hands being raised and people being shoved, and hopefully cooler heads are prevailing now. The referee's taken advice from his assistants, and at the moment he's speaking to the Guiseley right back Ryan Toulson. But he did call Sam Gagron over. Both number 6 is actually being spoken to, and it looks like both of them will be shown a yellow card too. 3 yellow cards there. Jake Lawler, Danny Boschel, Toulson as well. Ryan Toulson for the original challenge. Shows the options that Mark has got from the lads that he's retained and the players he's brought in. But at the moment it's one of the Guiseley regulars, Gavin Rothery, running through in midfield, and he's just scragged. He's brought down by Chalonka, who grabbed his shirt from the back of the collar of his neck and wrenched him down backwards as the Guiseley playmaker broke free. And that's one of the most blatant fouls you're ever going to see, Tom, and it's rightly a yellow card. Important intervention by Ryan Toulson sets Gavin Rothery free, back to Toulson, has it on the right, down by the corner flag, cross coming in, over the head of the first man, Rothery arriving late, trying to get to it, Ollie Johnson brings it under control, and his shot just bobbles across the face of goal. In fairness, Lowestoft haven't had any chances to speak of since half-time either, and it's Johnson again turning and running towards goal, trying to thread Boys through. He has done, who shoots with his left foot, running away towards the edge of the area, had to shoot with his weaker foot. It's a save from Jones, but we play full 90 minutes. But as we watch him marauding through the middle with the ball at his feet, threading Boys through with an excellent pass, a shot from Boys almost creeps under the left arm of Jones, the goalkeeper. The clearance allows Adam Boys to run against Sam Gagron, and he's seen the Lowestoft man off, and Sam Gagron has seen a red card for that challenge. He was the last man. Adam Boys was pressuring him all the way through. Guiseley have a free kick. There are 4 men in the wall. It's just outside the area. Brooksby to take it. It cannons off a man through the wall. It's taken a deflection into the far post. Nobody knew where it was going, least of all the keeper, Ashley Jones. And Brooksby's free kick has broken the deadlock. It came off a Lowestoft man, changed the direction of the ball, took all of the pace out of it, but the keeper, Jones, was wrong-footed.
Decided to take a more attacking based player and push him into midfield and defence.
Ollie Johnson running towards goal, shoots from distance. It's a great shot and a great goal for the Guiseley striker. Turned his defender, running towards goal, and hammered it into the same corner that Brooksby's shot just ended up in just a few minutes previously. A wonderful solo goal from the Guiseley man. Fair reward for a great final score. Guiseley 2, Lowestoft Town 0. A well-earned 3 points for the Lions.
Joined now by Mark Bauer after the 3-1 win over Brackley Town. Mark, easy job being a manager. You turned it round at half-time with the team talk, and then you bring the substitute on at the key moment. You must be pretty pleased with yourself this afternoon.
Well, just pleased to get the win. I think with everything that's gone on and all the circumstances surrounding it, I think that's our best win of the season. lads are out on the pitch, probably shouldn't be out there. We're down to the bare bones. OJ's sort of been rushed back onto the bench before he's really completed a training session. And we're at the sort of end of a spell of, playing Saturday midweek for quite a few weeks as well. So, all in all, to come back from being a goal down as well at half-time, which we've not done too often this season, we've not come from behind enough times. Like I say, I think it's our best win of the season.
Ollie Johnson's introduction did change things, because at that point it looked to be a pretty frustrating afternoon because Brackley were proving very resilient.
Yeah, it's always going to be like that. Teams come here, and if you can't get that early breakthrough, they grow in confidence, and they set up well and frustrated us, and just when we had little opportunities in the final third, just didn't quite take them. And then they catch us with a ball bobbling around their box that could have quite easily have ended up in their net. They break away and it ends up in ours. So, like we've said, any team in this league can beat anyone on the day, and they were certainly capable of doing that today. But I thought that the longer the game went, I told lads that we needed to be just about that bit sharper in midfield. I thought that they were getting too many second balls, and if we got more second balls, then we had the quality to create chances and hurt them. And I think as the game wore on, obviously with OJ's introduction, I thought he might be a bit rusty, but he looked okay. And that goal just gave us a spark. And I think we've been saying for a few weeks, missing a few bodies, we just needed a spark. And OJ's introduction gave us that. And when we were good after that. I was pleased with how we did, restricted them to very little.
Was it a tactical change, or was there an injury as well to Danny Hall?
We were going to bring him on. We were just about to bring him on, but Danny Hall started to feel his hamstring, so we slightly changed how we thought we'd do it. Just probably in time that Hawley felt that for us to make the specific change that we did. He was about to come on and was ready to come on. So we knew that it was obviously going to be a bit of a risk, having not trained, but he's got that quality to produce for you, and thankfully on a couple of occasions today he did that for us, and it's a difference between maybe scraping an equaliser or getting beat to 3 good points.
With the injury problems, you brought on Luke Porritt as well. It's been a week where we've been signing up some of the academy players. Are you impressed with what you've seen? Yeah, definitely.
We've Poz has been out at Farsley this season and got sort of taste of first team football there, and being left-sided and out winger was something that we're sort of short of at the minute. He just fit the bill and thought he worked really hard. Had a couple of moments where he showed decent quality, the other young lads have signed forms. Coming to the ground today, not sure if 2 or 3 of the players that played were actually going to play, so it could well have been there'd have been a few more of them on there. Poz and John Hendry may have started, so it's the lads have done well, and if we see the opportunity to throw them on, then we'll certainly do so. When you're trying to get in the top 5, it's not easy to take too many chances with people that have not got that much experience, but football's a funny game. 2 weeks' time things can totally change, and other lads can be involved. But no, pleased with the progress. Obviously Dave and Danny and Colin in the academy are doing a great job with them, and we've seen them impress in the County Cup this year, and certainly when they've trained with us, a few lads have really stood out as well, so they may be needed at some point, and if they are, I'm sure they'll take their opportunities.
Finally, next week, very long trip, another tough afternoon.
Yeah, it's a long time. I think we could definitely do with the midweek without a game this week. I think that'll certainly help us rest a few bodies. Thankfully we'll have the likes of Bosch back into the squad. Jack Stockdale comes back from his loan spell as well at Ossett, so we'll be swelling the numbers a touch there. Centre half might be an issue with Danny Hall and Danny Ellis sort of walking wounded at the minute. But yeah, it'll be a difficult trip. We'll prepare properly. We'll be going down there on Friday, get settled in and make sure that we prepare properly for it, because with the way the results have gone again today and us getting a win, another 3 points will really help to cement that place in that top 5. So we'll look forward to the game, but I think the lads are looking forward to a little breather this week where we'll just make sure we're getting everyone in the best shape possible for that game next weekend.
Thanks, Mark. Well, welcome back here to Guiseley AFC Radio for the second half. Here we are just welcoming the two sides back out onto the field. A strong wind, a bubbly pitch, has really contributed to what's been a fairly tepid first half here at Lowestoft. But the second, we hope, will change with Guiseley playing into the wind. The conditions arguably might be a little bit more favourable. I'm not too sure about that though, Adie.
No. No, it's such a strange set of conditions. This with a wind that was forecast to drop, which hasn't. The other thing which is odd, and this, I don't know whether this is actually true, but my perception is that Lowestoft are set up very defensively. They seem to have a lot of defensive players on the pitch, and I don't know whether that's a deliberate tactic or what, but they certainly in the first half weren't especially ambitious, were they?
Well, the ball, into the channels just didn't seem to stick. Well,
No.
obviously it doesn't stick, does it? It got away from them. So every time they tried to use the width that this pitch offers, they didn't seem to be able to capitalise at all because of the wind. We're back underway anyway. Stockdill, just to run true to form of this match so far, plays the ball forward and it's out to the flank and over everyone and out for a throw into Lowestoft in their left back position. Knocked up in the air by Ryan Toulson and out for a throw again to Lowestoft. So,
on a lighter note, by the way, Colin, 8 of our fans had done a forecast for every result in the Conference North at the end of this, and for an £8 stake, if they got them all right, they won 443,000. So they're all happily spending it in the mines before the game.
Do they have this one down as 0-0?
I think actually there was only one person had it down as 0-0.
They'll be the one smiling at the moment.
Yeah, and he hadn't taken part in the bet, obviously.
Stockdill plays the ball over the right-hand side. Finds Boys. Actually, it's a good ball into the area.
Oh,
almost touched in towards Nicky Boschel by Alex Johnson. Lowestoft get the ball away. Guiseley with a first incisive move of this second period.
An outbreak of something called football and passing there.
Almost, yeah. Up towards Alex Johnson. He takes it down with his back to goal. He's got Gorgren right onto him. Gets it back to Toulson.
Alex
ball
Johnson's
up into the
movement.
box. Flicked on here by Danny Boschel, but into no man's land really from Guiseley's perspective. The second phase still
Alex Johnson's
with Guiseley.
movement's been better today, Colin.
Now the ball into the area from Ryan Toulson, into the penalty area, helped away by Jack Ainsley. And nodded on again by Danny Ellis. The pressure from Guiseley in this early stages, a little bit more than it was in the first half, as you would expect with the wind in our favour this time. Now the ball in towards Alex Johnson, and it's away.
It's got to stick, hasn't it? It's got to stick.
Meanwhile, Lowestoft look to move with a counter-attack. They win a throw deep into Guiseley's half, level with the penalty area. It was a ball up to Jake Reed, and he got enough of a touch on it to take it beyond Ryan Toulson and force him to knock it out for a throw.
Our player reaction suggested otherwise, but we're too far away to make a call, aren't we?
The ball into the area. It finds Bamont, who tries to cross, blocked by Toulson. First corner of the second half belongs to Lowestoft. And 47 minutes gone here. Sorry, just Adie's trying to get tied up with the wires here.
I haven't broken anything yet,
A
Colin.
crisis of technology. 47 minutes gone, and it's 0-0.
I thought we were sloppy there.
Corner to Lowestoft coming in from the left-hand side. There's 5 players on the edge of the 6-yard box, plus 1 on Stephen Drench. This one floats in towards the edge of that 6-yard box. Guiseley do enough to clear. Omar Sawumni was one of those who was trying to win the ball in the air. The ball back now with Lowestoft on that right-hand side. Good anticipation from Ryan Toulson. Takes it away from his opposite number, Ainsley, and then gives the ball back. And an opportunity for Lowestoft to score. A back pass that fed in Jake Reed. He went past Stephen Drench. Didn't get the ball on target. And after good work from Ryan Toulson, he almost gifted Lowestoft the opening goal.
But that's the classic never ever play a blind ball. He's played a blind ball, hasn't he? I'm sure there'll be a few choice words afterwards about that one from Drenchy, because that was just awful.
Well,
The kid's done superbly well, by the way. I mean, in fact, if I'm honest, should have scored, shouldn't he?
Great anticipation there from Reed. But just couldn't make the angle count and get the ball into the open goal. In the end, it's back here with Stephen Drench in goal.
I think also classically he probably had more time than he thought, didn't he?
Great anticipation. Drench now with the clearance. It's a long one into the area. It's bobbled over everyone. The goalkeeper comes out. Nicky Boschel was underneath it. Alex Johnson was chasing after it. Ashley Jones was very calm. Managed to pluck it out of the air. And it'll be returned by the Lowestoft keeper, who was hitting the edge of the 18-yard box in the first half with his clearances, and this time unable just to get it much more than a couple of yards over the halfway line with that wind. Alex Johnson now on the right-hand side, up against Soumney.
He's done well there to not let the ball run away from him, hasn't he?
But Lowestoft do win the throw. And it's going to be a throw for the home side in left-back position. Woking 1, Forest Green 0 in the Vanarama Conference, and Fylde 1, Hyde 0. The Lowestoft half, a good clearance from the home side up towards Jake Reed, who had a good chance a couple of minutes ago. And in the end, it's gone out for a Guiseley throw, just in front of the dugout that Mark Bauer's occupying.
Defensively, it's quite difficult to make a judgment from a Guiseley point of view, isn't it? Because the ball's hanging up, and you can see that neither Danny Ellis nor Jake Lawland almost know whether to attack it or not. And the two little kids up front now are doing well for them, aren't they? Sort of buzzing around.
And it was good anticipation, was it, from Reed, like you say, buzzing around, trying to capitalise on any scraps that might be fed his way. Almost led to the open goal.
I mean, this is such a horrible game. It's one of them games you think, one goal might be it.
Yeah. Guys, you have to make sure it's not against them at the moment, because Lowestoft just punt it long again, looking towards Reed. It's helped away by Danny Ellis. Again, scrappily, Guiseley having to battle for it in midfield. This time Stockdale wins it. Tries to get it out to the left-hand side, but he's blocked. The ball comes down the right-hand side, this time with Nicky Boschel. He takes a shot from distance. It's a rather tame effort in the end. Holds his hands up in apology.
What a polite person you are, Colin.
A goal kick. Yeah, I'm not sure we can warrant the rating, the age rating for this broadcast with how you'd like to describe that one, I'm sure.
It wasn't very good.
It's a goal kick, and Ashley Jones will take. He gets a good foot through it, this time into the Lions half, headed away by Ellis.
That smacked of local knowledge from Keeps there, didn't it? The way he sort of hit it across the wind.
Lowestoft have a man down at the moment. It's Omar Soumney, who's, I think, grabbing his ankle at the moment.
I was going to say, he looked as though he twisted his ankle. He went down, that one way, as though his studs have stuck.
So he'll take a couple of minutes to get some attention here. So we wait for play to resume. 51 minutes gone, 0-0. There's not an awful lot to reflect on, but in the second half, Guiseley have almost gone undone with a pass back that Ryan Toulson sent towards Stephen Drench. It was intercepted by Jake Reed, but he couldn't, despite getting around the goalkeeper. He had an awfully difficult angle to hit the goal, and his shot went wide. That's the best chance either side have had in this second period.
Yeah, we haven't created anything very much, have we, at all? And actually, comment on the conditions is the linesman. Have you seen him intent on just keeping himself warm?
Yeah, in front of us. He's skipping up and down the pitch here.
I wish he moved as fast when it was in anger.
It certainly is a brisk afternoon here.
This is quite a long stoppage, isn't it?
And he's still down, is actually the number 5, Omar Soumney. He's clearly got a little bit of a problem.
I mean, you know yourself from playing, Colin, when the studs do get stuck and you twist through it. I mean, he the way he went down suggested he was in a lot of discomfort, didn't it?
Yeah, he was static on the ground, and he's been helped up now.
He's up anyway now.
Hopefully, for his sake, it's not too serious. He looks a little bit awkward when he's putting weight on his left foot. He's walking off, and I guess they'll just maybe wait and see before they decide on whether to change him.
We could have the ginger comment again, can't we?
I know, I've used that every week, don't I?
He looks to be moving reasonably freely, doesn't
he? He does, yeah. He's a little bit awkward, but we'll see if he returns. The throw comes on anyway from Guiseley, whilst Lowestoft temporarily down to 10. The Lions not capitalising particularly. It's a long one up towards Alex Johnson. He spins, tries to go past Gogren, but then there's 2 or 3 other blue shirts that capitalise and swarm round him when he looks like he's got a moment.
Shawmley's back on, isn't
he? Yes, he is. He is, and full compliment. He still looks a little bit uncomfortable. Guys here, meanwhile, have conceded possession. A
But
throw
just
into
sloppy.
Lowestoft.
I mean, the way the pitch is, if once you stood to get stuck, if you want to get forward of the ball, there's no chance of getting back to it, is there? So we need to be it's classically past the feet, isn't it?
Bradford City 2, Fleetwood 0. Guiseley 0-0 here at the moment. Lowestoft pressing down the left-hand side. They've opened up a bit of space here into the penalty area. Good cross towards Erkanoke, but it was a good header from Jake Lawler just in ahead of the Lowestoft man. But Lowestoft still in possession of the ball. Reed on the edge of the 18-yard box takes a swipe at the ball. Doesn't make a clean connection. It bobbles into the ground and then safely into the hands of Stephen Drench. He clears it immediately down the left flank, looking for Nicky Boschel to try and get him into a dangerous position. Boschel cuts in field. Good touch from Boschel into the feet of Jack Stockdill. Stockdill is clattered by Andrew Fisk fairly. It was a good challenge.
It was a good challenge.
And then it's away.
Nicky Boschel's done well there as well, hasn't he? But Stocky's touch was poor.
Just at the key moment as well. It just seemed to have a bit of space to work in.
I suspect we'll be looking for Johnson very shortly.
Yeah. Yeah. At the moment, Guiseley have a throw on the left flank with Danny Lowe, midway through the Lowestoft half.
Perversely, this could be a game that would suit Jordan Hendry as well because he's got a very sure first touch.
Holdsworth floats the ball into the area up towards Boys. Effort comes in from Stockdill. It's not the best, and it's high and wide and behind for a goal kick. Oxford City 1, Bradford Park Avenue 2 now. So Avenue were 1-0 down in that game. They've recovered and continue their surge away from the relegation places.
Since their run started against us, they would have been in the top 4.
Yeah.
Their form, latterly is very good, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been picking up plenty of points. A long one into the Lions' half from the goalkeeper Jones, but Guiseley recover the ball, this time on the right-hand side. Still just not able to get control of the football either side, really. And it's frenetic and without much shape or structure. This time, though, Lowestoft look to get the ball past Andy Holdsworth, claim a hand ball against the Guiseley captain, but the referee's not interested.
The linesman was well placed, wasn't he? So presuming he was watching, there was no reaction, was there?
Holdsworth actually makes a good challenge and sends Danny Lowe down the left-hand side, but then Lowe runs out of space, and it's a Lowestoft throw. Dover 1, Gateshead 0 in the conference.
Local derby.
Just think of that next season, should we manage to go up. There'll be a few more away overnight stops, I'm sure.
I was saying how Dougie Freeman seemed steely-eyed and confident in the team hotel. Well, they're 2-0 down now.
Told you he was bluffing.
Yeah.
Danny Lowe with the throw towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Picked up by Nicky Boschel. Good first touch.
That's unlucky, in fairness.
It just ran away from him and out for a goal kick. He was well watched by the defender in question, but a good idea from Nicky Boschel. Just
seen more of the
in.
ball today, hasn't he? And he's also, as you said, there's been some good touches. It's just as for 22 players, the final touch has been poor.
0-0. And it will be a goal kick for Ashley Jones to take for Lowestoft. Into the Lions half again, headed away. Onto the chest of Alex Johnson, takes it down well. Gives it to Nicky Boschel. He just slips, but does recover his footing to give it to Jack Stockdill. Good first touch from Stockdill. Back here to Danny Boschel. Guys, he's trying to pass the ball a little bit here, up to the edge of the 18-yard box. Adam Boyes' first touch isn't good enough, and Smith comes away with the ball.
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? That anything that's intricate beyond 2 passes is almost impossible to do.
Now, guys, they get the ball back again here with Nicky Boschel. He slips again.
Just have to shift it quick, don't you?
Back to Stockdill. Stockdill plays it long, up towards the back post, up to where Danny Lowe is. Danny Lowe takes it down his chest, goes away from goal, tries to twist and turn to go back into the area, does well, gets it across the face of goal in towards Alex Johnson. He couldn't get it under control inside the penalty area. Helped on by Danny Boschel. Guys, he's still pressing. Good defending, and there's Gorgren's down at the moment after making the aerial challenge. I think he's landed awkwardly. Lowestoft, meanwhile, come away with the ball into the Guiseley half. It's a ball into the feet of OK. OK plays it down the right flank. Jake Lawler with the challenge.
I thought that was terribly poor from Danny Boschel in the previous incident because...
Now Okay's found a little bit of space. Sorry, Adie. He's found it onto the left-hand flank now as Lowestoft get the ball into the area. Danny Ellis with a good interception on the edge of the 6-yard box. Lowestoft still come forward, though.
A man of Bosch's experience, just to launch it like that was poor.
And it means that Lowestoft having a little spell of pressure here as they play the ball towards the edge of the 18-yard box from Andrew Fisk. But Alex Johnson works hard, wins the ball back. Guiseley now send it up towards Alex Johnson towards the edge of the 18-yard box. He's up against Gogren, spins on the ball. Alex Johnson is tackled. It looks like a moment he's going to claim for the penalty. The referee doesn't give it, then gives it to Danny Boschel. Good drive from Danny Boschel, well held by the goalkeeper. But Alex Johnson in the penalty area looked like he might have taken a rap on the shins. He didn't go down, he just kept on his feet. He looked for a moment like he was going to protest the referee.
He was too honest, should have gone down.
And in the end, it's out for a Guiseley throw, but that's only to allow some attention to be given to, I think it's Gogren, isn't it? Sam Gogren, who was injured in a fall when he went into aerial challenge a little while ago.
I mean, the amount of contact in that challenge in the box, you give him a decision to make, don't you? And Alex was too honest for me there. Go down.
It looks like he's injured his arm, but it was a moment, wasn't it? I think that's a moment. But
good strike from Bosch as well.
Yeah, it was a really good connection, wasn't it?
Good strike. The keeper, in fairness, though, he's had a very good game, has he? Except for that, we know the one bobble in the first half, similarly as there's one bobble for Drenchy. He's looked very, very sure, hasn't he? I know that was straight at him, but his handling was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, and especially today with the flight of the ball in the wind, and at the moment it's still scoreless. We've had a 60-minute, we've had the hour past. It's certainly not been a classic. Oh well, there's only 5 hours or so to go back.
Yeah.
Think back on the joy that the afternoon has brought. Harrogate Town 0, Colwyn Bay 1. Something to bring a smile to your face.
Colwyn Bay have suddenly had this. They haven't won for 17 games, and then suddenly they beat Tamworth, and now they're winning at Harrogate.
That'd be the one team I'd like to stay up just for
a trip to the seaside.
Trip to the seaside reasons. Really enjoy going to Colwyn. Barnet 4, Welling 0.
By all logic, Colwyn Bay shouldn't stay up because they've got all sorts of problems, and obviously Frank left, but you have to say the front two, which is Hopley and with Hopley and Rob Hopley and Kev Holsgrove up front. They might have enough. Yeah.
Now Lowestoft on the ball on the right hand side, down the right hand side here with Henderson. Henderson cuts in field. Good tackle comes in from Nicky Boschel. And then Danny Lowe tidies up, sends it long, looking to release Adam Boys. Not been involved too much in the game, Adam Boys, for me this afternoon. The ball back in for Lowestoft. Over the top, Danny Ellis in a bit of trouble here up against Reid. Reid gets the ball off Danny Ellis. Ellis complains that he was nudged in the back. Reid almost capitalised, and Stephen Drench in the end takes it away from him at his feet.
The thing is, from Danny Ellis there, who I've been saying has been having a good game, the reality is if the referee's not giving things, which he hasn't been, don't take the risk. Do your job. And the fact that he's apparently there being physically, pushed out of it by Chris Henderson, who's not the biggest, won't do.
Throw in for Guiseley, meanwhile, in their own half.
Posing a bit of a threat, aren't they?
Up to the halfway line, and you're right, yeah, they are. It's certainly not been one-way traffic with the wind at all by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, but in fairness, you don't go through a season to this stage and only lose 3 at home and be anything other than okay,
Really scrappy stuff, though. Guys, they just send the ball long over everyone and out into touch. Blackpool 1, Leeds 1. So Leeds United equalising after Blackpool took that surprise lead, just before the break. And now another surprise scoreline, Fylde 1, Hyde 1.
But as we've said from our experience with Hyde in the last couple of weeks, we thought they were halfway decent, didn't we? And I think they are. Gary Lowe's completely turned that around. You look at the work that Martin's doing as his number 2 there, and the reality is that next season they'll be decent.
Guys, he just win a free kick inside the Lowestoft half. It's about 10 yards ahead of the edge of the centre circle on the right-hand side. Chance now for the Lions to get some bodies forward, perhaps float, maybe deal with the wind a little bit better.
We need to be cleverer with these, though, don't we? Because, I mean, it's all been really quite, lacking in quality, isn't it?
Boschel floats this one in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Alex Johnson goes for it, bounces beyond him. Well watched by Ashley Jones. Claims it inside the 6-yard box and danger passes. Boston United 1, Gainsborough Trinity 1. So an equaliser for Gainsborough.
Boston have now got 28 minutes to get the usual 5 goals, haven't they?
Yeah, that's been the case, hasn't it? Offside flag against Alex Johnson. And it's going to be a free kick. Big goal at the bottom here for York City. York leading Accrington 1-0.
And the expected substitution?
Alex Johnson is going off and Ollie Johnson comes on. I think Alex Johnson's been...
He's done all right, yeah.
I think he's been pretty industrious today. I think your point you made earlier on about him showing a bit of tigerishness more today than he has done in recently was a pretty valid point.
I mean, you forget that he's also missed the full season until a few weeks ago.
It was about this time, wasn't it, last Saturday, that Ollie Johnson made his introduction. He took about 30 seconds or so until he got his first touch, and that led to the equalising goal that he scored. I wonder if he can make the same impact this afternoon.
How long's gone now, Colin?
We've had 65. 65 minutes, 0-0.
You see, I don't think this pitch will suit Ollie anyway, because he can't run with the ball at his feet, can he?
Ball bounces up from the free kick from Lowestoft into the Guiseley penalty area. Nobody able to get onto it on the edge of the 18-yard box. Lowestoft do win the second phase back here with Henderson. Henderson gets the ball into the area. It's a spin on the ball by Reid. Reid lunges for the ball. He trips Jake Lawler, but he's making an attempt to get a touch on it, and it goes all the way back to Stephen Drench anyway.
Chris Henderson's starting to influence the game just in that little, just outside the 18-yard box, isn't he?
The ball up from Stephen Drench up towards Nicky Boschel, who's a little bit weak in the challenge, and Lowestoft come away with it with the full-back Ainsley coming over the halfway line before being dispossessed. Danny Boschel onto the ball, gives it to Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson spins, can't control his footing though, does well to give it to Andy Holdsworth, and controls the ball inside the centre circle here with Stockdill. Stockdill looks ahead. He's got Nicky Boschel. Jack Stockdill plays it into the feet of Nicky Boschel. He controls it. It wasn't what was intended, I think, and he sends it out to the left-hand side where Danny Lowe then crosses from the corner flag up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, chested down by Nicky Boschel. Lobbed towards the goal, but comfortable for Ashley Jones to claim.
I have to say some of Stocky's shooting today has been less than high quality, hasn't it?
Yeah. Difficult though, isn't it, with the surface? Nobody's particularly had a shot from distance that's threatened.
And you have to hand to Nicky Bosch. I know the lob was tame in the end, but at least he's trying something different, isn't he?
Well, that's it. You want some sort of invention, don't you? And just when something might change, there was a slip from Gogren, and you thought Adam Boyes might have a bit of space. He's flagged offside.
Meanwhile, back at nobody understands the offside rule.
Tamworth 1, Hensford 1, and Southport 1, Dartford 0. 0-0 here.
That will just about do for Southport if they win that, won't it?
I don't think we'll be releasing the DVD of this game.
No, there won't be a DVD now.
Free kick for Lowestoft inside their own half. Sent long by the goalkeeper. It's about a couple of yards in from the centre circle inside his own half. So we're really trying to press on there, but it's actually gone out for a goal kick. Couldn't be kept in. Throw from Tilson up towards Ollie Johnson. He's not making the attempt to win the aerial challenge. It's back here with another throw to Guiseley. Tilson inside his own half, sends it long, flicked on by Boyes into the chest of Nicky Boschel. Stockdill out to the left flank where Danny Lowe collects. He turns on the ball, goes towards the goal, gives it to Ollie Johnson, who helps it immediately out to Lowe. But Lowe's beaten to it, defended well by Ainsley, picked up now by Danny Boschel. Good touch from Boschel. Takes it over the head of one, sends it to the left-hand side where Lowe collects into the feet of Nicky Boschel. Back heel from Nicky Boschel, finds Ollie Johnson in the penalty area. On the ball, he lays it back to Danny Boschel, but Boschel had made the run beyond, so has to check it to recover the ball.
In fairness, they've limited the space very well, haven't they? Defensively, been very compact.
Guys, he's just knocking the ball about for a little bit, for a rare moment in this play. Now Ollie Johnson on the ball, a little bit of trickery on the edge of the 18-yard box, but runs out of space to play in, and it's a tackle that comes in and sends it back to the halfway line. The Lions taking possession again of the ball.
We're just starting to make them work that little bit harder, aren't we?
It's sent long this time, though, just as you say that, Adie, and it's recovered by Lowestoft. But Nicky Boschel doesn't give up the chase, gets a little foot on the ball that just causes 1-2 trouble. So Guiseley win possession back on the halfway line with Andy Holdsworth up towards Adam Boys, but Gogren had enough to win the header, and it's gone back to the goalkeeper, Ashley Jones. Torquay 1, Kidderminster 1, and Altrincham 0, Halifax 1. 2 conference scores. Nodded
Well
on
done,
by
Danny
Ellis into the centre circle, up towards Nicky Boschel. He doesn't follow the flight of the ball well, and Lowestoft come away with it. Danny Ellis hesitant. Doesn't want to send it back to Stephen Drench, sends it out to the right-back position. Ryan Toulson chases it down to keep it in play, does well. Now up the right-hand flank where Adam Boys and Ollie Johnson struggle to keep the ball under control on this surface.
This is just ridiculous.
Nobody gets a chance to put a foot on the ball at all. It's really awkward surface. Guisey now gets it with Danny Boschel, but his pass is misplaced and it's taken away by Lowestoft. But they run on the ball here with Ainsley, and then he's intercepted. Nobody's able just to pass the ball.
The trouble with this as a player, Colin, it's against all your football instincts, isn't it? Everything you just do naturally, because that's the way you've been taught, you can't do.
2 passes is almost too much, isn't it, on this surface?
Yeah, so you have to just do the very simple thing all the time. And I mean, it's a shame for both sides, really, because it's visibly the case that
Nicky Boschel takes a shot from distance. It must have been 25 yards from goal, straight at the goalkeeper.
Lowestoft have got some good footballers, and yet they can't play. There's just the surface won't allow them to play.
0-0. 20 minutes left of this game. And little threat on either goal in the second half.
We've had more shots, haven't we? But the keeper hasn't had a save worthy of the name to make, has he, really?
I was going to say, you wouldn't class them as being opportunities, really, would you?
No. And Nicky Boschel's been prominent in that, hasn't he? I mean, he's probably had 3 of the 4 on-target attempts this half, but the keeper's not made a save that, he hasn't made a save.
Nicky Boschel goes for the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box, but it's a good tackle from Lowestoft. Now they're urged on by the home crowd to come forward over the halfway line here with OK. He sends it out to the right-hand side, and Reid tries to go past Jake Lawler. Well watched, actually, by the guys. He's centre-half, and Jake Lawler, though, goes back into his own penalty area, uncertain with the surface, does well to get it away, gives it to Ollie Johnson. Good 1-2 between Ollie Johnson and Danny Boschel down the right-hand side. Now Ryan Toulson sends it forward. Johnson continues the run. Good running from Ollie Johnson. Goes down towards the byline, gets the cross in towards the penalty area, towards Adam Boys. Defender gets there ahead of him. Ollie Johnson picks up the second phase on the edge of the 18-yard box. Crosses towards Danny Lowe. It's overhit, and it's going to go out for a throw-in to Lowestoft in their right-back position.
Ollie's just starting to influence the game, isn't he? I mean, I think there's a number of tired legs out there now. I mean, Lowestoft to put a good shift in, but I have to say that they're just starting to just... There's 1 or 2 loose touches, isn't there? And Ollie's just injected that little bit more pace.
Well, it's a throw into Lowestoft in their right-back position with 18 minutes to go. Not an awful lot to report in this game by way of chances. Guys, you now pick up the ball, though. Danny Boschel, 25 yards from goal. Shaped up to take a shot, which he did, but it was well wide and pretty harmless in the end.
I mean, it's hard to defend the attempt, isn't it? But at least it is an attempt. I mean, but I think the other thing is, again, technique-wise, the ball doesn't sit for the strike, does it?
Ashley Jones will take the goal kick when we eventually get back underway. The Torquay leading 2-1 against Kidderminster in the Vanarama Conference. Accrington have equalised against York City. We've got no goals here, though. Not a sniff of a goal, actually, so far. Might change in the last quarter. There'll be a substitute for Lowestoft shortly, but they're on the attack at the moment. Danny Lowe having to do some defending. He actually concedes the free kick for a foul on Chris Henderson. This is a dangerous position for Guiseley to defend. And there will be a change, but I think it will happen after this set piece. And it's about 5 yards in from the touchline here on the right-hand side as Lowestoft attack the Guiseley goal, and probably about level with the edge of the D, maybe a few yards up from the edge of the D.
I have massive respect for Danny Lowe as a defender, but he's found that they'll have the real handful this last few minutes, hasn't he?
And Guiseley will have to defend this attentively, because Adam Smith will cross this one in. And Lowestoft are bringing plenty of players into the penalty area here. 7 players roughly around the edge of the D and on the edge of the 18-yard box. Guiseley only with Ollie Johnson not in defensive positions at the moment. The referee just trying to sort out one or two things in amongst that melee of players that are huddled together. Smith crosses it in towards the back post. It goes into that melee, and the referee in the end
gives the invisible foul.
Gives the invisible foul. We're not quite sure what that's for, but it's gone Guiseley's way.
You can almost script that, couldn't you?
Yeah, and that change for Lowestoft will happen now. And it's Erkan OK, who is replaced by Lee Smith. So they've rolled the dice for the first time, made the first change, the home side, with 15 minutes to go. And Lee Smith comes on for Erkan OK. Mark Bauer and Danny Boschel just having a conversation in front of the dugout there. Chorley, meanwhile, have gone 2-0 up at Stockport. Back underway here. Lowestoft perhaps sensing they might snatch something out of this. It would be a snatch for either side, I think, given the fairly tepid nature of the encounter.
I mean, Stockport really had to win that game today to stay in the race.
And Chorley needed the points, didn't they?
Chorley needed the points, certainly, yeah. And but I say, quite genuinely, well, mathematically at least, there's certainly 9 teams involved, aren't there?
Big one for us at Chorley in our next game. Meanwhile, it's got a big moment here because Jake Lawler's just been pressed down. He's done well, actually. He managed to get the ball clear.
Thank the Lord for long legs.
Guys, he come away with it. Danny Boschel tries to send it over the top. But didn't get the right ball. This one's up towards Adam Boys. Boys flicks it on. It's beyond Nicky Boschel.
The thing is, Nicky's so languid that you could have engaged the lad's touch, couldn't you? And he's not done it. And that just that half a yard is the thing that really irritates me sometimes about Nicky.
Guys, he win possession back then. Nicky Boschel actually loses it in the final third.
He's had one of his better games, in fairness, hasn't he?
I'd agree with that, actually. I think
at least he's looked involved and tricky, and but it's just, let's say that for me then, that half yard where you can pressurise the kid's touch, he's not done it.
He will take an unpredictable touch every now and again, will Nicky Boschel, won't he? He'll try the back flick or the... Yeah,
and the fact of his left foot, which can be a wand on a good day, can't it? Don't go square, please.
Ollie Johnson just at the moment got possession of the ball, was closed down inside his own half, and guys, you can see Ollie Johnson, a makeshift centre half for the moment, trying to run the game.
That would be a makeshift centre half, wouldn't it?
And gets the ball and then sends it into the Lowestoft half. Johnson now on the right-hand side, tackled, picked up by Danny Boschel, wins a throw in front of the dugouts. Grimsby 2, Eastleigh 0 in the Vanarama Conference, and Accrington 1, York City 2 in that.
We look at all the money that's been spent at Eastleigh, and I know the transformation of that club's been remarkable, but they aren't delivering, are they, despite the big money?
Nod on here from Ollie Johnson into the box. Guys, you've got the ball at the moment inside the Lowestoft half, chipped up in the air by Danny Lowe,
just
but nothing
hopeful,
particularly feels like it's going to come off, does it?
There's no quality about it. I mean, we're better than that.
Guys, he now picked the ball up with Ryan Toulson. Again, nobody controlling this ball. Danny Boschel into the feet of Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth takes it past the substitute Lee Smith into Nicky Boschel.
Well done, Nicky Boschel.
Now Danny Lowe on the left-hand side gets it into Andy Holdsworth, who's made the overlapping run into the penalty area. The cross comes in from Danny Lowe. And it's out in the end, defended well and out for a throw-in for Guiseley.
Neat passage of play, but there was the end product was completely lacking, was it?
I think that's been a kind of description of the game so far, or the game
We
overall.
have tried to play football in little bursts this half, haven't we?
It's just not been possible this time. The ball forward from the throw has just been nodded out by Nicky Boschel. Neither side have been able to, get a foot on the ball, as we've said.
I might be inclined to look for a little bit of something slightly unpredictable from, say, Luke Porritt, or something a little bit more direct from Jordan Hendry, because, Jordan being a very sort of robust, biggish lad, he could well be a threat on this.
And also with a point to prove to try and get into this first team berth.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, isn't it, when you're a kid trying to make your way, but...
It's another dangerous move now, building up for Lowestoft with Henderson. Gets
He's
it down
done well,
that right-hand
Henderson.
side. Good one too. Henderson goes to collect the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Well defended again by Jake Lawler. Stepped across just at the right time. But it was a good combination between the substitute Lee Smith and Chris Henderson.
Another substitution now for them, who, amazingly, they seem to be taking off.
Henderson that does surprise me, because he is the man to be replaced now by Bradley Woods-Garnis.
Although, to be fair to the kid coming on, I mean, he's had a good season.
So Henderson is being warmly applauded by the home fans here.
He's put a good shift in, hasn't he?
And like you say, it seemed to be growing into the game, if anything, in the last 10 minutes or so.
This last 10, 15 minutes, he's been very influential in this sort of just outside the 18-yard box in the attacking half, hasn't he?
So, Lowestoft's second substitute. We've got Ollie Johnson on for Alex Johnson. And Lowestoft have a throw in.
How long is left, Colin?
Good position. There's 10 minutes to go. Jack Ainsley with a throw. The right back in towards the touchline. The substitute gets his first touch. Woods-Garnis. Guys, he still don't get the lines clear. It's back in here with Lee Smith into the penalty area, and eventually a good step across from Nicky Boschel to take the ball away.
Jack Stockdale showed his inexperience there, didn't he, by taking a touch, just lose the damn thing, get it gone.
Ryan Tilson up now to Ollie Johnson. He turns on the ball some distance from goal. Ollie Johnson can't get the shot away, but can play in Danny Lowe. Lowe on the edge of the area, gets a shot blocked. Good defending. Guys, you win the corner, though. I think that was probably the brightest moment of our second half, to be honest.
OJ's made a difference, hasn't he? But it wouldn't sit for the shot, would it?
Corner, 10 minutes to go.
This is our first corner of the second half.
Yeah, crikey. 0-0. Corner to be delivered by Nicky Boschel on the left-hand side. Floated in towards the near post. Doesn't beat the first man. Cleared. Only as far as Danny Boschel, though. He chips it back in. That'll be easy for the goalkeeper to collect. And it's, again, safely in the hands of Ashley Jones.
It's just been catching practice, hasn't it?
Friday's a bit of a frustrating afternoon, and Lowestoft could make it worse if they... the
ball was out.
Fortunately, it was gone out to play. Glanced down for a moment just to see that Barnet are 5-0 up against Welling. Tamworth 2, Hensford 1 now. So
Best result for us there is a draw, isn't it? But
it'd be good to get the 3 points this afternoon. But at the moment, it doesn't look like it's happening. 0-0. Little to suggest there's going to be a goal from Guiseley at this moment in time.
It's been a hard watch as this one, Colin.
I tell you what, it's probably been one of the hardest. I'm trying to think of a more frustrating 0-0. And it's hard to pick one out, to be honest. 0-0 it is.
I mean, if I'm honest, when I was out there before the game wondering about it, I'd have taken the point if the point is what we finish up with.
Throw in here.
We're about to sub, aren't we?
Yeah, second substitute for Guiseley will happen.
No, it's too complex.
Guiseley just lose possession. Picked up now by Danny Boschel. Boschel to the right-hand side. Picked up now by Adam Boys, but he's going backwards again. Holdsworth. Into Toulson. Toulson actually takes it. Crosses into the area. Up towards Boys. Beyond Boys. Into the feet of Boschel. He can't control it. Nobody can. Jack Stockdale takes over on the edge of the D. Still in possession, but he's got Gogren right up. Is behind, and in the end does well to get the ball into Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson's over-elaboration allows Lowestoft to control, clear, and send it out into touch into Guiseley's half for a throw. And the change is going to be Jack Stockdale. And who's that coming on, Adie? It was even the subs board being waved was pretty poor. We couldn't even see the number.
It looks like Jordan. It looks
Is
like
it
Jordan Henry.
Yep, Jordan Henry coming on. So he will replace Jack Stockdale.
I mean, in fairness, Jack hasn't kicked a first team ball for us for 3 months, has he? So 83 minutes done well, neat and tidy. The only criticism I think is a couple of touches that showed his inexperience and a couple of preposterous shots. But he's done okay. He's going to be a very good footballer, is Jack. Guys,
on the ball now inside the Lowestoft half. It's chipped up towards Nicky Boschel. There's a tackle from behind from the Jack Ainsley in the air. I think he went through Boschel. Referee has blown the whistle. Boschel's just feeling the back of his head.
A tad naive, perhaps, the challenger.
It was, wasn't it? It's a free kick in a good position, this, for Guiseley. It's in decent range for a shot with the wind. If the wind is as strong as it's been, I'm not quite sure whether it is now. We are enclosed this afternoon.
The trees are certainly still bending.
And Holdsworth and Nicky Boschel stand over it.
This for me is made for Andy Holdsworth, because Andy Holdsworth's technique is better. Precision is better.
Nicky Boschel looks like he's lining this one up with 6 minutes to go. Scoreless. Free kick to Guiseley, about 10 yards up from the edge of the D. Drilled in by Nicky Boschel. He slips, and it's a delivery that's straight at the goalkeeper, who claims comfortably inside the 6-yard box, and Nicky Boschel picks himself up from the floor from the free kick rather disconsolately, and the ball is sent immediately down the other end as Lowestoft look to make a counter-attack, but well intercepted there by Danny Boschel. Guiseley in possession of the ball at right back with Ryan Toulson. A long one towards Adam Boys, beyond him, and Guiseley get a free kick inside their own half. The home fans aren't impressed.
That was just a coming together, wasn't it?
It wasn't particularly convincing. It's gone long and quick and defended anyway.
We haven't thought about the free kick, have we? We just launched it, haven't we?
It's hurried from Guiseley, and it's allowed Lowestoft to claim the ball
well
back
done,
again.
Danny Boschel.
A great touch from Danny Boschel takes the ball away from Woods Garnis, and now Danny Boschel can come away with the football into the Lowestoft half.
Show me, Jordan. Show me, son.
Jordan Hendry. He plays the ball into the area, looking for Adam Boys. Doesn't get there. The ball back in now by Ryan Toulson. Nobody on the end of that. Goalkeeper claims. Deeply frustrating. 5 minutes to go. Tamworth 3, Hensford 1, Stalybridge 2, Gloucester 1, and Boston 2, Gainsborough 1, as the goals elsewhere come thick and fast. And now it's coming here, I'm afraid.
Oh, son, be careful.
Now was a moment there where the Lowestoft defender just held onto the ball. Nicky Boschel dispossessed it, gave it to Ollie Johnson, who's on the left-hand side. He's got the Lowestoft man right behind him, the substitute, Woods Garnis. Gives it to Nicky Boschel, out to the right-hand side. Toulson into the area. Ollie Johnson can't collect that one. Boys with his back to goal tries to lay it into the path of Jordan Hendry. And then Hendry, trying to win the ball back, concedes a free kick inside the D. And it's a free kick to Lowestoft. The danger passes.
Defensively, Lowestoft have kept the shape very well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, haven't they?
And they've had a deal of work to do. I know we haven't exactly dominated, but they have had a deal of work to do this half.
Yeah, and it's again, unpredictability of the way the ball and control has been. You know, it's made things, I presume, very much harder for them, and us, when we've had the ball in defensive positions.
It's a game I'd rather commentate on than playing, if I'm honest.
And it's not much fun commentating on it, is it? 0-0. Woods Garnis now the substitute for Lowestoft. He's got the ball on the right-hand side, plays it into the other substitute, Lee Smith.
He's gone for the return, hasn't he?
Has gone way wide and behind, and you're right, he was looking for it, wasn't he? But Smith went out towards the flank and then tried to cross it into the penalty area, but got it wrong. Goal kick. 3 minutes to go. And it looks like it's going to be a stalemate at this moment in time.
I don't mind a stalemate, if I'm honest.
Up towards Adam Boys. Boys takes a touch from the clearance and gives it to Nicky Boschel. Good ball from Boschel, finds Hendry into the penalty area. He tries to drill it across the 6-yard box. Well defended by Lowestoft again, though. In with Ryan Toulson into the penalty area. Helped away by Woods Garnis, only as far as Danny Boschel. He chips it back in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Up from the fullback again, Jack Ainsley, whose arm was up with the jump and has caught Danny Lowe. Not maliciously, but I think he just caught him when he was jumping to head the ball, and the referee has judged that to be a free kick to Guiseley on the edge of the 18-yard box. In a good position, this. He's
rather cuffed him round the back of the head, hasn't he?
Like I say, I think it was just the arms are out with him trying to win the header, and rather fortuitous free kick, really, for us. Free kick, though, that we'll hopefully will capitalise on, because it would be a wonderful time to score, what with a minute and 20 of normal time left on the clock. Nicky Boschel and Andy Holdsworth stand over.
Well, this is, I mean, if this isn't Andy Holdsworth, I may well eat the microphone. because everything about the strike, the body shape, everything. I'm not saying he'll do anything with it, but it's naturally.
Yeah, it should be his free kick.
I mean, on a different set of circumstances, Nicky Bosch might be able to bend this round the wall, but not with this wind. And we also need somebody gambling on bits and pieces here, don't we?
Holdsworth to take. 3-man
Lovely
wall. He
Nat.
drills it in. Oh, it just takes a deflection. It goes past the upright. It was a good connection from Andy Holdsworth from the free kick, but it just caught the wall. The goalkeeper lost the flight of the ball completely from the deflection, but it just went past the upright. Best chance of the second half for the Lions.
Very well set defensive wall, in fairness.
Corner to Guiseley. 30 seconds of normal time to go. Can a late winner come here? The ball in towards the back post, up towards Danny Ellis. He heads it up in the air. The referee gives the free kick. Is that usual? What was that for?
Yeah.
Free kick. Yeah. We saw one at the other end as well, didn't we?
Yeah, indeed.
And with 15 seconds of normal time.
3 to add. I'm sure he's already decided.
It's 3. I don't know. How did you predict that one, Adie? I've no idea. It's really, really just going to peter out a little bit this game, if I'm honest. Lowestoft look to see if they can change that into stoppage time. Picked up and sent forward, but there's a free kick. Not quite sure what that was for.
What was that for?
I have no idea. I didn't even hear the whistle, to be honest.
No.
Guys have a free kick for some imperceptible reason for us, but we've got a free kick, and Stephen Drench, deep inside his own half, will take. It's going to go long. It's up towards Ollie Johnson. It's a little bit short, and Danny Lowe comes to challenge for it. Lowestoft hold their lines well. Again, chipped forward, optimistically, headed away by Gogren, and the home side get possession of the ball inside their half, and it's up here to Reid, who takes it down well spins on the ball, takes it past Danny Ellis. He ran out of space on the field. He's unhappy about the call, but the linesman on that far side put his flag up, and it's a throw to Guiseley.
I mean, presumably even the officials can work out when the ball's out or not, though, so, it's a bit difficult one to argue with, isn't it?
Now Ollie Johnson on the ball, takes it down inside the Lowestoft half, chips it out to the right-hand side, taken down by Adam Boyes, back to goal again though, gives it to Hendry. Hendry runs in towards the edge of the area, fades it to Nicky Boschel. Boschel on the ball inside the D, can't control it, and in the end Lowestoft come away with it, and there's a free kick given to Lowestoft.
For what?
For not quite sure what, but it's a free kick nonetheless.
I'd love to know, the referee waves his arms about there, but nobody knew what was going on, did they?
No. There's not much protest.
No.
So, free kick.
Jordan Hendry did well there, didn't he? Just didn't get the chance to release the ball, but did well.
And referee.
How deep into added time are we coming?
Well, we've had 2 of the
right.
Added 3. I think it's safe to say it's not been a classic.
No.
1 up for Danny Ellis. He heads it away. Lowestoft just pressing for the last moments here. It's cleared and sent back into the Lowestoft half and headed back to the goalkeeper, and Adam Boyes was chasing it down. It was Ainsley who did enough to get it back to
Keeper's done
Ashley
well,
Jones.
hasn't he? You can't tell from here, but the impression is he's a real boss. He knows what he wants. He knows how he wants it.
Lowestoft just losing possession for a moment in midfield. Win it back, send it long. Helped away by Toulson. Again up in the air, no possessional control.
Jarvis done super to adjust his feet there, hasn't he, for them?
Up to Nicky Boschel, but then his chest down towards Ollie Johnson is short. So Umney takes it away, and there'll be an offside flag against Jake Reid. Free kick to Guiseley. Last roll of the dice, possibly. Chuck this one long, see what happens. Stephen Drench comes out. He will do exactly that. Lions send some bodies forward.
Seconds left, Colin,
Yeah, just seconds, really. Colin Bay have got that second against Harrogate Town, so they're now 2-0 up. This one goes long, up towards Nicky Boschel, bounces over them. Referee calls time. And I'm afraid it's the longest trip of the season has resulted in perhaps one of the poorest spectacles. A poor game of football on a difficult pitch.
It isn't the worst point, Colin.
It's been a difficult watch, but a hard-fought point.
Yeah.
0-0.
And second half we've had the better of it, haven't we? Without really, actually looking like we were going to kill the game off. But I have to say that having been on that before the game, I would have taken the point before the game. that isn't the disappointment of Hyde. That's a decent point against a decent team. And I think to say otherwise does them disrespect. And this is the worst playing surface I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's been a tough game of football. Tough conditions, hasn't it, today? I mean, we talk about the performance. It's difficult to judge, isn't it, from both sides' perspective?
Yes. Really. I mean, as I said, that's no disrespect whatsoever to Lowestoft, who are decent at home, and the first half maybe they didn't make the best use of the conditions to their favour. Second half, I thought the longer it went on, the better we looked. If I'm honest, from when they took Henderson off, they never troubled us, did they?
No, and it's what you expected, but. Overall, it's a point, and I suppose that's the positives. It's not been a great spectacle for the 50 or so Guiseley fans that have come along to support the side, but a point gained. And next up now, Chorley away. Let's just quickly go down those scores in the games that we've been following. Blackpool 1, Leeds 1, deep into stoppage time there. Huddersfield 0, Fulham 1. Huddersfield playing a 10-man Fulham side now, but still trailing in stoppage time there. Bradford 2, Fleetwood 2 is the latest there. So Fleetwood have made a bit of a recovery, coming back from 2 down. Accrington 2, York 2. In the conference, Alfreton 1, Chester 1, Altrincham 0, Halifax 0. Sorry, we did call that as 1-0, but that was score obviously didn't count. Barnet 5, Welling 0 is finished. Dover 1, Gateshead 0. Grimsby 2, Eastleigh 1. Macclesfield 0, Nuneaton 1. Southport 1, Dartford 0. Torquay 2, Kidderminster 1. Woking 1, Forest Green 0. And Wrexham 1, Lincoln 1. Conference North, Boston 2, Gainsborough 1. Brackley 1, North Ferriby 1. That's finished. Fylde 1, Hyde 1. That's still going on. Harrogate 0, Colwyn Bay 2, Lowestoft 0, Guiseley 0, Oxford City 1, Bradford Park Avenue 2, Solihull 2, Leamington 0, Stalybridge 2, Gloucester City 1, Stockport 0, Chorley 2, Tamworth 3, Hensford 1, late goal as well for Barrow, so it's now Worcester City 0, Barrow 2. That's a second goal from, it was Anthony Wilson who scored earlier, and Worcester even missed a penalty in that game. With Geddes missing from the spot. He scored that Rabona, didn't he, earlier on this season against Barrow in the FA Trophy that went viral. So let's just quickly look at the standings before we go off air. At the top, it's all good news for Barrow because Fylde and Guiseley both have drawn here. So Barrow 73 points from 35. Fylde in second, 71 from 36 now. Of course, they won midweek to close that gap, and that's finished now. Guiseley, obviously now third, 63 from 35. Tamworth with that 3-1 victory, join on points with us, but we're still ahead of them on goal difference, and they've played a game more, 63 from 36. Hensford on 59 from 37. Then there's Boston and Chorley, both locked on 57. Boston played 35, Chorley 34. Oxford City 55 from 36, so they're still clearly in with a shout. North Ferriby 53 from 35. Stockport 53 from 36. There's so many teams, and even Worcester City, of course, can still claim they've got a shout for it, surely, at 52 from 35. And then at the bottom, Hyde 20 from 37. Stalybridge and Gloucester both down there too. Colwyn Bay now into 19th place after that win at Harrogate Town, 36 from 36. Brackley and Leamington on 37. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it this afternoon. We're back for the away game at Chorley. It's a blank weekend next weekend because North Ferriby are in the FA Trophy final. Good luck to them. We will be back here. At Chorley on Tuesday night for that big play-off battle that faces us then. Hope you've enjoyed it today. It's not been the greatest spectacle of football, but a valuable away point. 0-0 here. We'll see you next time.